What is going on, Brookie Nation? Yo, okay, YouTube. Check out this hat that I'm wearing right now, okay?
It's pretty sick.
This is Cakeworthy's Mad Hatter hat, and this is in tribute to last week's show. I'm giving myself a round of applause because I found this in the closet.
Homage.
That's right. A little bit
to
of
Sebastian.
A little bit of homage. What's going on, everybody? I am the Mackie Mouse.
It is me, Isla.
It is you. And this is Storybrooke Circus, your Once Upon a Time podcast. We have both seen the show in its entirety, and we are watching it one episode at a time and putting it through its paces. How are you? How's it going?
I'm good. It's going.
Yeah, it is going. It feels good. We are struggling through the day to get through our workday every single day. It's just like adults do, I suppose. But it is such a treat to occasionally get to come together and make this kooky show that we're making. I hope that everyone out there enjoys it too.
We're both in that awkward plateau, like pre-vacation, where like we have nothing going on for a couple weeks. Yep. So we're just kind of like...
Yeah, it's soon. Mine is almost actually 3 days ago. It's a month from now, 3 days ago, we will be on the West Coast, which is very exciting. And a well-needed recharge of the batteries from the craziness that's been going on and the very, very tail end of Taryn's summer vacation. So we're kind of packing it all in. Anyway, you're probably wondering about this crazy show of ours. So we mentioned the YouTube before, so we're filming the pre-show portion of this episode. Hello, you video watchers out there on YouTube. And we typically, in the beginning of our show, like to talk about you, the listener, in a segment that we call the Storybrooke Daily Mirror. So, Storybrooke Daily Mirror is a fictional newspaper. However, in our world, it's
real in our hearts.
Very real in our hearts. It's the place where we get lots of messages from you, and you guys reach out to us and tell us what you think about the show or about us. We have some really, really great ones to share with you today. But before we share them, we'd like to tell any newcomers how you get into the Storybrooke Daily Mirror. Isla, tell the people what they've won.
Soup's easy, my friends. We first of all have our Apple Podcast reviews. If you leave us a 5-star review and you write words, we will read it on the air.
Yeah. Words.
We also have an email, thesbcpod@gmail.com. You can write us a letter. We would love it. We have a phone number. That phone number is...
I'm never ready every time.
Damn.
207-536-8512.
And with that phone number, you can call and leave us a voicemail. We will not answer. You can say whatever your heart desires and then just hang right up.
That's right.
And you can also text that phone number and we will read it on the air, or we will play your voicemail on the air and talk about it.
Which is what we're gonna do now. So we do get quite a few text messages, so don't be shy if you feel like you don't want to talk into a voice. I realize how kind of archaic talking into a voicemail is. It's kind of strange. I get it.
I do it every day.
Do you? Well, yeah, it's true. But the text message thing is totally viable, even if it's really long. If you want to write us an email, then you can also proofread, so you don't have to feel like you have to get it on the first take, You
can double text, triple text. We don't judge.
You can write novels. You can have conversations with us if you're like, if you have a question and you want to ask us, we can answer back if you would like to talk directly to us.
Mm-hmm. Or you can head on over to our Discord and you can ask us and all of the other Brookies.
Hey, I keep forgetting to write in the notes that we should really be shouting out the Discord. We have a super kick-ass Discord called the Brookies.
We had a lot of fun.
We really do. It's pretty active. I just started a spoiler podcast chat channel on there because we're trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible for anyone who hasn't seen the show. We didn't really... And I kind of wish that we had talked about this before.
We didn't set out doing that. Yeah. Like, we just kind of, like, did it without saying anything, both of us.
Yeah, like we could have potentially done a spoiler. Because we've been shy about
a certain someone that's showing up next season. Yeah. We're not. And that kind of started it. Because I went to go say something about him. And then I was like, you know what? I'm not. I don't know. I feel like I just need to keep this to myself. And I'm glad I did. Because it turns out we do have Brookies that have never seen
the show. Yeah. And
which we're really thankful that you chose us to like experience this with.
Yeah.
But
they are in the minority. Most of the people who are watching have like a pretty deep connection to it. Actually, one of our callers references someone we're going to meet in this episode, and literally to respect the spoiler kind of, not I'm going to call it a rule, but the spoiler free zone that we are trying to keep it in, refers to them as they. You know, like literally try not even to give away the gender of the person that he's talking about, which I love. So it kind of turned into a thing. And if we had thought about it when we started, we could have made this a spoiler-filled kind of show where we talk about where it's going to go and like what this all means in the beginning, which is kind of cool. But we ended up just going down the road of someone who's never seen it before. So that's kind of where we're at. Anyway, I started this spoiler channel so that the people who have already seen it can actually freely talk about those things, and they are going off in that channel. Let me tell you, the floodgates have opened. They're talking about every and anything, all these characters and relationships and future ones, and where the characters go, and whether they're disappointed in the track they took or not. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's a lively group. So if you were interested,
my personal fave is the new Selfie channel that we have.
Oh, that's right.
People have just been like, I love it because people have just been using it to like check in. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm out, like having a drink or having dinner. And I'm like, I love this little selfie check-in. Let's do it more.
We're because it right now. Oh my God. Wait, I can't. Oh, this is awful. What am I doing?
Mackie, why don't you just do it on the normal? You
mean not a selfie? That's a good idea.
That's still a selfie.
That is still a selfie. Let's do it this way. There we go. We did it. We did it on the air, guys. We did it live. You can catch that picture in the Selfie channel on Discord. You have to join on Discord.
I love it. Because I'm all about, self-love, respecting yourself.
Yeah.
Pumping yourself up. And so if we can hype others up, we're going to do it.
And the community. I was just going to say, the fact that we can pump each other up. And it's not just me and Isla. Like, there's people in there who are just like, somebody posted a picture and there was a really cool drink in it. And everybody's like, oh my God, what drink is that? Drink looks really good. And they're like sharing recipes back and forth. Like, it's got a cool vibe to it. It really does. We're trying to create like a comfortable living room type of space that people can just kind of chill in. So
it's literally like a casual house party.
It is.
We're not getting crazy. This isn't Project X throwback. But like, we're just hanging out, Like Mackie said, we're hanging out on the couch.
Yeah, we're just actually, I guess Jordan from last week said that's what she felt like when she's listening to our show, just hanging out on the couch, listening to us talk smack about the show, which is a great vibe. I mean, that's what I like when I watch shows. So
Sam.
Anyway, we digress. Our Storybrooke Daily Mirror. Let's talk about you guys. What have you guys said to us since we have talked to you last? So we have one quick text message. So we got another down the hatch. We got a couple more down the hatches actually for our lost Patreon. There's people showing their support for our up and coming lost Patreon show. This person is from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Giovanna. Giovanna from East Bridgewater. Yeah. So
hi.
I was so excited. Home state.
Giovanna, hello. What are you doing? What's up?
And shares something in the text that I'm not going to give away because our first call has to do with this particular subject, but we got a lot of entries about this. So Giovanna, thank you for adding to our map project. We're only a few short weeks away from revealing that. Yeah. And Storybrooke is your neighbor also. Not your neighborhood, but it's your
East Bridgewater. Okay.
So our first call is related to Giovanna's the rest of her text, which I will share in a second. And this one is from our good buddy Taryn from Texas that Isla affectionately calls Tannerin.
Okay, hi, it is Taryn from Texas. I'm calling you with exactly 2% left on my phone because I am listening to the Hat Trick episode. And I just had a fun fact that I don't think you guys mentioned in the prelims. Emma and Sebastian Stan, I don't know Emma's real name, but Sebastian Stan were actually dating during this time. They dated for about a year and a half, I think. I could be wrong, but I know they dated for a while. And he got on the show because he was dating her, And then they got the whole spinoff situation. Anyways, I thought it was a fun fact that I just had to share while I was listening. Absolutely love you guys. Very excited for the things to come. Cannot wait to hear what else you guys have to say. But that's all I wanted to say was just that they were dating during this time. And so you could kind of see their, like, tension. And it's just like, chef's kiss. Just, I love it. I love it a lot. Okay, that's all. That's what I got for my 2% on my phone battery. Okay, bye, guys.
Oh my God, I need to. You know what? We're actually not watching this week's episode. We're rewatching Hat Trick.
Yeah, let's just rewatch Hat Trick.
I can dissect this scene again because.
Right?
Holy shit. I knew that I had like a faint, distant memory that they dated. And I saw somebody mention it in the Discord the other day. But I did not realize the timeline was that they were dating
during the episode. Yeah.
And he came on the show because they were dating. Like, she was like, oh, my boyfriend would do a good job at this. My boyfriend, Sebastian Stan.
I love that, though, because their tension, I mean, it's not just with her. Like, his tension with everybody is that good, you know, like with Snow White and with Regina, and it's just like he's just amazing like that. And I wish there was more of that. There's a lot of like that brooding, that Winter Soldier type of act is very heavy and dark and stoic. This has a lot more punch to it, but man, there's stuff in that room when she's making it and he's doing all those things we're talking about, the little things in his eyes and the smiles and all that stuff is. Ooh. So she texted, or she called this. I got confirmation that her phone immediately died after sending this voicemail. So thank you for the dedication behind this message. She sent this at 4:45 on Friday. She was like, as soon as she got off work, wasn't even done listening to the show, and immediately called in. And right after she did that, we got a flood of messages. So Giovanna in the text message was like, hey, by the way, the reason Emma and Jefferson probably had a lot of chemistry is because Jennifer Morrison and Sebastian Stan dated for a year. We got a bunch of people in the Discord who were like, oh yeah, they were dating. They're sending us all these pictures of the two of them on red carpets and stuff. And I was just like, we totally missed that. I wish that
we're just like watching the show. We're like, wow, this is interesting.
I'm like, yo, Wikipedia did us dirty by not just being like, by the way,
I know, like,
Jennifer
we have
Morrison.
a whole section called production notes.
This was 10 years ago. You guys couldn't have added that into the wiki. Like, gee, I'm not going to be hunting all over the internet for facts. Now I'm gonna. Like, every time there's a guest star, I'm going to be like, who were you involved with in the show?
Who were you sleeping with?
Yeah. So thank you, Taryn, coming in hot from Texas with the breaking news.
Hannah ran.
Always, you can always rely on you. What else? We have a message from Heather from Discord that I didn't catch from last week. This is actually an older message. So Heather, I apologize for not playing it last week. But we will play it now because it is lovely. So here is Heather Lee from our Discord Brookie fam.
Hey, Island, Mackie. This is Heather Lee from Discord. I have been wanting to call you guys for a while and boldly use my actual voice to thank you both for your super kind words and your encouragement a couple episodes back. It meant a ton to me, and I couldn't stop crying myself, so I totally appreciate that. So I've been listening to you guys, kind of lurking in the background because I've been super busy at work, but you've been in my ears, and I've been enjoying it because it feels like I'm watching an episode with you while I'm busy doing my job, which is super fun. And so my job is I'm an art teacher, and I've been wrapping up my school year, and we put on this big art show, and there's so much that goes into the production of that it's been making me think about how much goes into the production of this show and how much I really love this show because of the beautiful details that you can just rewatch and see in the background. So I love the costumes. I especially love when you guys talk about all those production things, because that creativity just makes this show awesome to me. So I was thinking about the costumes and the fashion talk that you guys have been doing, and I wanted to know so if there was a costume that you could wear from the show, so far, not in the future, but if there was a costume so far, which one would it be? Which one would you guys pick to wear? Mine would be Prince Charming's cape. I think that is just so cool. I love the opening shot of the entire series where you see that beautiful gray horse and the cape flying out behind him. So that's what I wanted to ask you guys. And just appreciate both of you for the creativity and the production that goes into your show, and knowing how much, just creative energy it takes. I also think it's cool how you let people in on the behind the scenes of the show that you're making, and that you let people be in on the creative process. So can't tell you how much I appreciate both of you, and how I hope that you are just rested and having a really great day. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you soon on the Discord. All right, bye.
We have
Thank you, Heather.
the friggin' coolest listeners ever. First of all, can we talk about the fact that I'm pretty sure, and forgive me if I'm offending someone for not remembering, pretty sure this is the first request that we've gotten on a voicemail of asking us a what would you do kind of question.
Yes.
I am so obsessed with this. I love this so much.
She caught me off guard, so I'm on Google right now.
Okay.
And I found it.
Okay.
Because I've had a couple favorites, and I am picking the episode from Hansel and Gretel.
Which character?
Regina, obviously the evil queen.
Obviously.
Her, the hat and the hair, I'm going to show Mackie, but the dress that she wore is a dark purple with a black lacy design over it.
Yes.
And it's giving me Haunted Mansion vibes.
It's very steampunky a little bit.
Yeah. So that is my pick. Her hair,
it's
curled to the side.
I like it a lot. That's great. I feel like mine would either be Rumple because it's so kooky and weird, and it's got those cool high collars. I like a lot of those long jackets and high long lines in fashion are attractive to me. And I feel kind of like Jefferson's black outfit from this last episode was very much a thing I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eyeliner Jefferson. That
Yes.
kind of, yeah, no, I'm saying that.
That kind of punky.
Yeah, but it still almost feels like it has tails, it feels like a showman's outfit, you know what I mean? That kind of long, The Greatest Showman. I know it's not the show, but The Greatest Showman, yes. Hugh Jackman / Zac Efron's, what do they call those guys? Ringmaster, the ringmaster,
ringleader.
That. So stuff like that. That's close in Once Upon a Time.
Because the coattails on it is very.
I don't know what.
I would wear anything that the evil queen wears, if we're being completely honest. Any of those outfits are
dress her so
phenomenal to me.
So good. There's a lot of more, which I'm actually happy about. There's a lot more strong women, not just women in general, but women's fashion and women's appearance and look and accessorizing the looks and belts and all that other capes and things. A lot of strong women. But I love
how this show also plays into costumes with men as well, where it's not the strongest man is not Gaston. You know,
right.
That's how I'm going to relate it to. You know what I mean? It's not this big brooding man. Look at Rumple. He is the dark one. Probably one of the most powerful in the entire Enchanted Forest.
Right.
And he's 5'4"?
Yeah.
And he's a skinny.
But still commands.
But his presence is still so big and strong.
So big. Yeah.
And his outfits are not, manly man. Look at, he's glittery. He has glitter all over his face.
Right.
He's sparkly.
It's like a fairy.
And, they're tailored very beautifully, and there's lace and there's gold. So I love that they don't lean into the Hollywood standard of what a man is or anything like that.
Yeah.
They play off of presence and who you are and what you can do and not, I love that about the costuming of the show.
That's a really valid point. No, I like that. I like a lot of how they position people in the story and their relative strength and hierarchy, in power. They do exhibit power in ways other than the obvious, which is kind of nice, that it's not always the person you expect,
Also, Heather, shout out for finishing out the school year strong.
Yes.
We love that.
Yes, we love our teachers.
Art teachers are so important.
Absolutely.
And they do not get enough credit.
No, they do not. Thank you for leaving us another message, Heather. You're fantastic and phenomenal. And we appreciate. I'm sorry that I missed that last week. I don't know what happened in our programming, but we got to hear it now. And we will talk to you on the Discord. And please, if anyone out there would like to also participate and let us know what your favorite costume is so far that you would wear, then call 207-536-8512 and leave a message just like Heather. Because that would be a fun little game to play. Maybe we'll put a poll up in the Discord or something. Our next and final voicemail is a return caller.
From our friend.
Our good buddy, who I will let him introduce himself because he also has a phenomenal presence and we're happy to get a second call from him.
Hey, Mackie and Isla, it's Jonathan Chisholm from Georgia. I hope you're both doing well. I just wanted to give you another call because I told you I would send another voicemail. Just saying, I'm so glad that my voice message a few weeks ago meant a lot to y'all. It really, my feelings about the show are, are wonderful, and I'm so glad to be listening to two people who love the show as much and really just find the joy in the show. It's because I think that's what the show is. It is a joyful show. It is a beautiful show with, as I said, with some quirks, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful show. I'm listening currently, actually, right in the middle of your hat trick episode, which I'm enjoying thoroughly. And I wanted to make sure to call this week because the next episode after hat trick is a very special episode for me because, as I mentioned in my first voicemail, the next episode introduces my favorite character on Once Upon a Time. And I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about them. I suppose, I just find this character to be perfect, perfectly acted, perfectly written, and just a fascinating character. And I don't think they ever topped this character in terms of anything else they did, in my opinion. But I hope you're both well. I'm so happy for the success of the podcast, and I cannot wait until you have me on the show and interview me about the show because I'm pushy like that, and I'm going to keep pushing you about that.
Jonathan is manifesting.
Anyway, have a great day. All my love. Bye.
Oh, Jonathan, you are such a joy.
If Jonathan did not introduce himself and he just left us voicemails like that and I just closed my eyes, I would think that Todd Chrisley is listening to our TV show. Our podcast, our TV show.
Our TV show?
He is literally Todd Chrisley.
Jonathan, we have a very near and dear place in our hearts for you and your participation.
That is a compliment as well, by the way. That is not an insult. Oh my gosh!
You're fantastic.
Just have that Georgia charm.
We love that. It's so
if I
can't stop
met you
smiling.
on the front porch somewhere, I would have a lemonade with you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's have a lemonade.
I hope that happens someday.
Yeah, let's manifest that into existence.
Also that ending, chef's kiss.
Yes,
perfect. Because that is how I approach any situation, and I love it.
We 100% will have you on the show for sure. We have to find the right one.
I need to prepare very specific questions.
Yes. Yeah. We need to do some prelim work on that. But thank you for your lovely contribution. I believe I know who you're talking about. We were going to talk about her a little bit during our production notes. A new character that is introduced. This is her first episode ever and becomes a pretty big deal for the rest of the run of the show. So I'm sure that's probably who he's talking about, which is very exciting. This episode is a huge one. It's a lot of what we've been leading up to for this entire time, and the way I think that they present it in the show is also really powerful because it's kind of boiling over and bubbling over finally, to the point where the flashbacks will now tell us why Regina's so mad. Like, we've seen her real mad this whole time. We don't know why. We just assume, well, it's because she's evil. No, well, now we're going to really find out where it's coming from.
And what an episode to follow up Hat Trick with, because if you did not listen to last week's episode, you should. And if you have, then you know that it was extremely controversial.
Very. Oh my God. Very, very. Especially.
I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Because I thought people were going to be mad at us. They seem to be okay.
They were, but like in an understanding way. There was a lot of, everybody was. It was divisive. It was divisive in that people were a little taken aback.
Which
by,
it's a very touchy subject, and
we
respect that. And we are looking at it from a TV show standpoint. Like, we're not over here like endorsing Sebastian Stan
kidnapping people.
Women.
Yeah,
we're not about it.
And that is something. Yeah, because this is what we do for the podcast, is like kind of pick it apart from that standpoint and looking at the storytelling aspect of it. How
Emma acted is like a character from a TV show that Mackie and I have been watching, where we just were like. Yeah.
We were
totally caught off guard,
and we were projecting. We were definitely projecting other things on it, and we got called out on it on Discord of people being like, "Whoa, but we can't expect her to not." Yeah, it's fine. It's our first kind of slightly controversial topic on the show.
It's the first time we've also challenged Emma, so I think people were like, "You going for our savior?" And we were like, "All right, we love her."
That being said,
she was just a little much for us last week.
In case you're a little bit nervous, she was. In case you're a little bit nervous, the conversation was very respectful, and everybody kind of put their opinion out there. And this is the first time it's happened with our group of listeners, so we were a little nervous. It's like, oh my God, I hope people don't start fighting. Everybody was really cool about it, and we all kind of put our thing out there, and it was fine. Nobody was upset.
Which I think proves that like our Discord is a phenomenal, loving place. Because no one, and I mean this literally, not one single person had the same opinion as another person. Yeah,
we were all really split up about it.
Everyone had a different look at how Hat Trick went down. Not the podcast episode, like the literal episode of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Hat Trick. Everybody was like, whoops, and I was like, this is a tornado. I'm so scared because I don't like this kind of confrontation.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It ended up actually being awesome, and everybody was like, hell yeah.
It was actually really wholesome. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It was kind of interesting to I was freaking out. It was kind of interesting to get another perspective, and like see the things that actually make sense in the opposite opinion of it, and like, oh, actually a combination of all these things are really happening, and it's kind of weird that they all coexist in that same space. And some people were talking about Emma, having to still grow, and she's not fully out of her cage, and a lot of people liked the fact that she was able to admit to Snow that she put these walls up, and that was an example of her putting the walls up, so they had to have her kind of still be guarded. And also we keep forgetting that she was kidnapped, so we can't expect her to be like sympathetic. But meanwhile, Isla and I were just like, yeah, but she's been calling everybody crazy, and like it looked like he was getting to her, and we were so obsessed with his performance of that piece of the script of like really straight into the point, justifying that the magic is real in a very easy and relatable way. We were hoping that was going to be the thing that was the light bulb, and that would have made no sense if that was the thing that turned her.
No,
because then everybody, rightfully so, would have been like, excuse me, girl, you're kidnapped. Like, you can't just all of a sudden forget that you're a hostage. Like, everybody would have been mad at that. So we got to talking about it. It was a very interesting conversation, but definitely get in the Discord if you like conversations like that, if you really want to pick the episode apart, especially now that we have the spoiler channel, because if people want to talk about references to, oh, well, the reason why this happened is because of future things, now everybody's kind of free in that space to talk about it. So we cannot endorse the Discord enough. We need to get Jonathan in there. Jonathan, get in our Discord, because we need to hear from you. I don't want to call you out or anything, but your lovely presence.
Too little too late.
Yeah. But here we are. Anyway, now on to the show information. Our show, pre-show.
What?
What? What happened? What'd I miss?
The show information.
The show info. It's literally written as show info in my notes. That's why I said that. Because it's just
pre-show.
It is, but we're in the pre-show now. It's like the pre-show.
It's the pre-show to the pre-show.
It's a pre-show. This episode is episode 18 in season 1. It is called The Stable Boy. And the character backstory is for the evil queen and a very, very, very young Snow White, a child Snow White, in fact. It aired on April 1st 2012, April Fool's. It was written by OG, Edward and Adam, wrote this episode, rightfully so, because this is an important episode. So I'm glad that they kind of took the reins on this.
Yeah.
And then directed by our seasoned veteran, Dean White. Snowfall's True North, What Happened to Frederick. He's the arbiter of the Snow White story. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is, and it's interesting because like we keep talking about, usually you have the same writer who will stick with those stories. But for whatever reason, for the first time in me seeing in television directing, Dean White has been the pretty much exclusive director of all of the Prince Charming and Snow White storylines. So he's handling mostly young Snow White this time, so he's not blossoming the lovely romance between
matchmaking of
our lovely Guinea and
real life Guinea and Josh
Dallas. The rating for this one, 8.36. They're getting lower. I think they're going to get lower until we get to the very, very end of the episode, because that just happens. Like, it kind of dips down while people are, that whole last quarter of season ones of stuff, because Lost had this too, where there's a whole bunch of stuff in the middle where we're just like, let's just get to the season finale.
Wrap up the season. Yeah.
Because we're on 18
I get to that
out of
point
22.
in any show that I watch. I'm just like, all right.
Right around 16, 17, you're like, okay, let's just get there. And usually season 2 is a lot better because we got some momentum going. We can do a few things at once. But yeah, 8.36 million people is still nothing to shy about. I put some notes in here I want to take a second to talk about the guest cast for this episode. Because we have some new people, or we have some old people playing new parts. So we have Noah Bean, who is playing the titular stable boy. We'll find out a little bit more about who he is. He's a pretty classic American guest actor, Law and Order and Grey's Anatomy and all that kind of stuff. Just a slew of little things here and there. But very, very good actor. Excellent for what we need him for, right? In this episode. Anastasia Griffith is going to be back as Catherine. We have Giancarlo Esposito is going to be in it for Sidney Glass, Megan Ori for Ruby. We have Richard Schiff is returning as King Leopold. So Richard Schiff is the West Wing native. He's a New Yorker, amazing Shakespearean trained actor, super awesome. You probably know him as Eddie from The Lost World. That's where a lot of people know him from if they don't know The West Wing. And then we have some new people. Well, actually, we also have Alan Dale, who is playing King George. Well, we don't like him. Well, he's appearing in Storybrooke for the first time in this episode. So it's a new character. His name is Albert Spencer. He actually plays the district attorney of Storybrooke. So in the Mary Margaret court case stuff. We have a horse who's actually credited. I don't know his horse name, and the show is like Rocinante. But his name is Jerry. Jerry the horse is playing this Janet Forrest character, and he's credited. So I love when they credit animals like that.
They credited a horse, but not the baby.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. Uncredited baby,
disrespectful.
but this horse has a name. And the two people I really want to highlight during this. Number one is who we think Jonathan is talking about. It's Barbara Hershey. Barbara Hershey plays Cora. Cora is Regina's mother, who we're going to meet for the very first time in this episode. And she, starting in, I don't know if I think it's starting in season 2, becomes a series regular. So she has a heavy importance even beyond Regina's mom. There's a lot of really heavy intertwining with her in the plot. So this is going to be a really big deal to meet her for the first time here and see a little bit of Regina's past. And last, we have young Snow White. Young Snow White is played by a very young, 12, I think, year old Bailee Madison. And I love, since this show is 10 years old, I love seeing where these kids are now, because most of the adults are, they're on to other projects and they're pretty much the same. But these kids were young. They were like 9, 10, 11, like look at Henry. And even where he gets to by the end of the show, like he's going to grow up on the show because he's in all the seasons. So catching some of these kids and seeing where they've gone is kind of interesting. So Bailee Madison started at 7 years old. She's born in 99. So she is a ripe 21, about to turn 22 this year. She started at 7 in 2006. Her second movie ever we discovered right before recording was Bridge to Terabithia. If any of you out there remember that 2007 classic. She plays the little sister.
I need to go into this with an open mind because she was the worst in Bridge to Terabithia.
Yeah,
she was the obnoxious baby sister. And I think I've said this on air before, but I've definitely said it off air with Mackie, where I'm one of those people where I see somebody in something and that is it for life.
Yeah, that's their character.
They are. Jason Bateman is a creepy, rapey, almost dad from Juno, which is so sad because I do love Jason Bateman and I love everything that he's ever done.
Yeah.
But for in my head,
that's
I just
a tough
picture
one.
him like trying to slow dance with like 8-month pregnant Juno in the basement.
Yeah.
Where his wife's like, "What are you doing with this child?" And he's like,
God.
"I don't want to be a dad."
So problematic.
So poor Bailee Madison. I'm just like,
yeah,
that's you.
Yeah.
You're that
Bridget Terabithia, 8-year-old annoying little sister. I'd like to.
Also crazy that her name's Bailee Madison, and then there's also the other child star, Madison Bailey from The Game Plan.
Oh yeah.
Or no. Oh wait,
Is
no.
it?
Not Madison Bailey. No, it's Madison Pettit or something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
There's another Madison Bailey though. I feel
like that too. I'm sharing currently the Instagram of said Bailee Madison.
She's so cool.
If you'd like
She's
to
cooler
join,
than we'll ever be.
If you'd like to join along, it's Bailee. First of all, your name is already spelled cool, so forget it. Bailee and then Madison. That's just her Instagram name. No underscores or periods or anything. She has 3 million followers. Because why not? Because you're 21 years old in 2021. Look at this Instagram. Look at this. She's a model. She's done fashion. She's still working in movies right now. Like she's adorable. She's so pretty. I mean, she's
so cool.
A lot of like Olivia. What's her name?
Rodrigo.
Yes, Rodrigo. She looks a lot like her. A little bit. You know, like it's got that same
both
like
young and cool.
That young vibe. You know.
We're just old.
I guess. Oh, it's so sad. Her Instagram is popping. Here's a picture of her when she was young. So it's in there.
This is it. That's the Bridge to Terabithia.
That's right.
Face.
So she had a very high front row of teeth. So her front 2 teeth came out before all the rest of them. So she had this very classic smile when she was young. That you'll see in the episode today. But yeah, she's all grown up. She can sing. She has a lovely voice. And actually we're gonna look into a little bit of that right now. She has 2, if you go to her IMDB page, IMDB. This is when we say like working child actor turned adult actor. Like this is her credit list is incredible. She did Bridget Terabithia, a bunch of other random things. She's like mostly television, right? Multiple projects per year. In 2007 alone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 appearances. Then she was always these like random little girls. Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV show, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark she was in, obviously Law and Order because everyone has to be in that. She was in 6 episodes of Wizards of Waverly Place as Maxine Russo, another like classic kids thing, right? She was in an R.L. Stine TV series for 2 years, The Haunting Hour.
She's been busy.
Right. The Trophy Wife was 2013 and 2014, 21 episodes of that. Once Upon a Time, she ended up in 5 of them from 2012 to 2016. The Fosters from 2014 to 2016, 12 episodes. And most recently, for 5 years, she's been a regular on the series Good Witch as Grace Russell. 56 episodes since 2015. Wow. She has been a working television actress basically since she was 8. 7 or 8 years old.
Wow.
Which is pretty round of applause for that. That's pretty incredible set of credits. 2 of them this year put out 2 movies this year and 1 movie in 2017, 2018, 2019, 1 movie a year, and in 2021 2 in the year. The first one is a musical, which we're going to watch the trailer for right now. It's a musical called A Week Away. It released on Netflix on March 29th. The synopsis is a troubled teen, Will Hawkins, has a run-in with the law that puts him at an important crossroad. Go to juvenile detention or attend a Christian summer camp. At first, a fish out of water, Will opens his heart, discovers love with a camp regular, and a sense of belonging in the place in the last place he expected to find it. All right, so here's what the trailer is.
Come on. Just tell her the truth.
I was really excited.
Social services put everything in there.
You didn't tell me this was church camp. It's gonna be great.
That would be me.
What's with the name, A Ouija Way?
A week away. Every once in a while, somebody's
my
just
God,
a week
him.
away from an experience that changed everything for them.
I'm Avery.
Nice to meet you.
There she is.
What's her story? Way out of your league, trust me.
She's
Her
so
dad owns
cute.
the place. If I'm gonna fit in here, I have to be something I'm not.
Well, this will be fun. Good luck, Will. You're gonna need it.
Turn it up. Dive in. Let it play like a song from your heart.
This music.
Take a chance with me. Come on.
Let's go make a memory.
Was the singing too much? I couldn't decide.
No, that's what got me.
Oh, the singing? Nice. You are perfect, aren't you?
I'm so excited.
I'm like trying to be what everybody expects me to be. It is exhausting.
I totally get it.
Seeing her growing up is so weird. It's so weird. Oh my God.
It's been so long since I felt so connected.
He's lying to you. Will isn't who he says he is.
Uh-oh.
So
Trouble.
what, do you just run away?
You don't know anything about me.
You're not gonna believe me.
I don't need you to fix me.
I'm not trying to fix
right.
you, Will.
There's nothing there. We're feeling alright.
Your parents would be really proud of you.
Together. This is the best thing. This is the best thing ever. We're having a life.
I know this is very exciting audio content for our audio podcast listeners just listening to music right now.
This is the best thing ever. This is the best thing ever.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have to watch it.
I know this is a little bit unrelated to Once Upon a Time. Also, spoiler alert, it's not the only trailer we're going to watch. I have another one. But I feel like the people listening to this show right now will appreciate where this is coming from. This is very teen beach movie, very high school musical, very, what's the Demi Lovato one? The
Camp Rock.
Camp
How
Rock.
dare you? It's not Demi
right?
Lovato, it's the Jonas Brothers.
But Demi Lovato's in it.
We're not gonna credit her.
Oh my God, wow. Okay. At least I didn't say the wrong actress's name. But it feels like very like the summer, music camp type of thing. And the music is so, I really like it. I don't
It's
know.
the whole Christian camp thing. I have such a terrible relationship with religion where I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so scary.
Yeah, I feel, it
was-
looks like it's being handled tastefully. It seems as
Yes.
though anyway.
Anytime you watch something that's about like a Christian summer camp, I'm like,
Have you ever seen Saved?
Have I ever seen what?
Saved?
No.
Saved might change your mind on that because it's literally about like hyper religious. So Mandy Moore and Macaulay Culkin as an adult in that movie, and it's all about like Mandy Moore is trying to reform him the whole time, and it's really funny. It's actually I kind of actually think you would like it. We should tentatively check it out sometime and let me know what you think.
I love Mandy Moore.
Mandy, I do too, like a lot, like an almost unhealthy.
But
amount.
I honestly kind of want to watch the movie because that music sounded
right
up my alley.
I'm saying so. Like
it's on Netflix. I have Netflix.
It is Netflix. It came out March 29th. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, then give it a look. Bailee, our young Snow White, doing her Netflix movie thing, and then I found out that when I went on her Instagram, she had a post up, which I pulled one of the posts down because she had said that she has a new movie coming out on Tuesday. So if you're listening to this Friday or over this weekend, a new movie will be kind of out in a couple days, right? And it's called A Cinderella Story Starstruck. So we're going to watch the trailer.
So this is like the 12th Cinderella story that they
yeah,
made.
seriously.
I didn't know they were still doing those.
I have to change the audio real quick. Let's see if I can do this on the air. Let's go.
Right now, we are looking at a beautiful scene of a rundown farm.
Yes, we are. It's
There is
very...
possibly a horse, maybe a cow. I cannot see from this far away.
You're doing a great job. All right, here we go.
This movie is rated PG.
It is.
You know, it would be amazing to
But
be
she's
a
the
little
lead.
actress like in Hollywood. Stop it.
Not every princess
What is she doing?
Pretending to be a Disney princess.
I mean, that is so sad.
Oh my God.
lives in a castle.
Good night, boys.
Finley, what is this?
It's fish.
I said I wanted fish fingers. Fish fingers.
Oh my God, Kale, quit saying fish fingers.
Fish fingers.
Is that Freddie?
Not every fairy tale
The Hollywood film Billy the Kid has arrived in dreary Idaho. The cast is led by Jackson Stone.
begins once upon a time.
Let's see what you got.
Is that Finley? This is so embarrassing. It's the best.
Let's get you out of this mud.
Jackson Stone.
You're lucky they didn't ban us after your little stunt.
It is the one thing that I've ever wanted in my entire life, and it is never going to happen. Well, giddy up.
This feels very Princess Diaries.
Everywhere that you go, there is a heart. There's a heart.
It's the theme song from the Fuller House.
A hand to hold on to.
Real nice work, man. What's your name, kid?
Finn. But, y'all can call me Hub.
Let's try one.
This is very Disney.
Wait, 130, 135?
123, think.
There's something fishy going on between Finley and Huck.
Huck and Finn.
Yep.
What do you got going for your day off?
There's a really nice lake, actually. You can go fishing.
Look, I know it's you.
It isn't me.
Who are you?
A plain girl from Drury, Idaho.
There is nothing plain about you.
She's
a
good,
Cinderella
man.
Story, Starstruck. Look for it on digital.
Oh,
So-
it's a straight touch.
It's a straight to digital. Yeah. But the girl is doing great. I'm just applauding her career in general. Like she's...
Okay, those movies are good. There's a Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. There's another Cinderella Story
That's the one
with
I know,
Selena
yeah.
Gomez. There's another one, and apparently this one. They're good. You know what's going to happen. There's two evil stepsisters with an evil stepmother, and they don't want the poor girl to do something, and then they all live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Great.
If you want a nice, just like mindless, hopeless
You don't have
romantic
to think
type
about
of thing,
that.
yeah, it's just
Those
it's
movies are crucial to our mental health.
yeah, absolutely, they really are. Sometimes you don't need something life changing. You just need something happy. You just need like a positive note. You know what I mean? I didn't read the synopsis here. It says Finley Tremaine. We missed that there. Finley Tremaine.
Okay.
A small town farm girl longs to spread her wings and soar as an aspiring performer. When a Hollywood film crew arrives at her sleepy town, she is determined to land a role in the production and captures the attention of the handsome lead actor Jackson Stone. Unfortunately, a botched audition forces her to change her course. Now disguised as a cowboy Huck, Finley finally gets her big break. Now, but can she keep the charade a secret from everyone, including her evil stepmother and devious step siblings? I love that the stepsisters are, one of them's a boy. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But still plays the role fantastically. So anyway, I know that was
So
kind
Bailee
of
Madison, we stan you.
Yeah, I know it was kind of a long way around the Bailee Madison stan train, but I just love these kids that come from these, like it's not that common that you see them become so successful. That girl that plays Gretel isn't really, she's like singing on Instagram, but she's not really doing a lot. Bailey's kicking it. She's making her way up, and it looks like she's actually quite good, especially like a week away. Like she has to play these like really dramatic, like aggressive and sad. Like she was playing frustrated really well, like it wasn't bad at all. So this is the introduction of our young Snow White. We're going to see her in a few episodes, so I kind of wanted to give her a little bit of an intro to our show. So Bailee Madison, welcome to the Once Upon a Time family. And now we can talk about the synopsis for our show. Everybody's asleep. No, all the Storybrooke Circus, once upon a time, people have gone. And you guys can come back. It's okay. The synopsis for Stable Boy is this. Emma continues her exhaustive search for evidence that will prove Mary Margaret's innocence in the murder of David's wife, Catherine. Sidebar. It feels like we've been in this Mary Margaret as a criminal story forever.
Listen, I forgot that we found Catherine's heart, supposedly.
Yeah.
Like that. This
So
was the
long.
one that needed to wrap up a little bit ago because I forgot.
I mean, we're at 18 of 22, so they're gonna get in. Like, this is gonna accelerate very, very quickly to get to the end of the season, right? So, but I'm just like,
It's just like so silly because it's like we know Mary Margaret didn't do it. They don't paint her in any way that you would even like question, like, oh, maybe.
Right. Well, they
Maybe
did
she
this thing with
did.
David, and they already gave away that David is remembering Enchanted Forest stuff, and he just doesn't know it
Right.
yet. So it's not even like they're trying to.
So it's
fool
like this
us,
isn't
you
even
know?
fun for us to be like, maybe she really did do it, and we're gonna reveal.
So
that is hard for me.
Before I continue with the synopsis, it's interesting that you say that because this is the second time in season 1 that they've told the audience what's going on before the characters know. And it's a very interesting and frustrating technique to do, especially in television, where the audience is ahead of the characters because the entire time you're watching, you're like trying to like, okay, characters speed up, like
You wanna
catch up
shake it
already.
out of them. Yeah.
Whereas something like WandaVision, the entire show is spent with everyone who's watching 6 steps behind everybody in the show. And because of that, you spend the whole time biting your nails and like, wait, I gotta figure out what's going on because you're behind. And that's a much easier
I'm one
technique
of
to
those
get
people.
on.
I like that.
I
I like
love
to be
that.
like in suspense and wonder what's going to come next.
I like reveals
So this
to
is
kind of
hard
tell
for
me.
me.
Yeah, same. And I think Lost was a little bit more successful at that than this show. At least comparing season 1 to season 1, the way that they would like slowly reveal things that are connected, I think they did a better job in Lost than this.
Yeah,
This feels just
I
like a
liked-
little drawn out.
I liked that because in season 1 of Lost in particular, you're wondering, are they crazy or is something going on?
Yes,
the whole first season.
The whole first season.
Are they crazy or is the silent? Is something up with the island?
Is it magic? Is it science? Is it
Yeah,
explainable?
you know what I mean?
What is it?
Like at first you're like, oh, maybe it's heat. They're just all
They're tired. They're
losing it.
hallucinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so meanwhile in the fairy tale land, before evil blackened her soul, Regina must choose between betraying her mother Cora and marrying for true love, or betrothing royalty and living a regal but loveless life. And the event that caused the evil queen to loathe Snow White is finally revealed.
We know which one she chose. So let's
Right.
see how we got there.
Obvi. So yeah, this is the episode we have been waiting for. And I think from this point on, things start to this is the thread that we yank where everything starts to really unravel out of control very, very quickly. Particularly in the family tree. Once Upon a Time, if you ever look up any of the memes and stuff, has a whacked out family tree where you find out a lot of weird interconnections you didn't know. They reveal them like in much, much future seasons. So this is the like, let's establish the relative reality, like magic could kind of exist. And then I think starting in season 2, it's going to go really crazy. So this is the beginning of that. So now we get to talk about some behind the scenes thing about the show in a section we call the production notes.
Production notes.
Behind the scenes, we got some set things, some goofs. So first of all, I'd like to talk about the deleted scenes from these, just because the last ones were kind of interesting. So there's 2 of them. One of them is called I'm Your Friend 2, scene 28. Let's see. I kind of want to get, it says these are all included on the Blu-ray, and I kind of want to get the Blu-ray now because you can't get these extras on Disney Plus. So I kind of want to like, you know what I mean?
What am I paying for then? Disney Plus.
I mean, it's a good question. It was funny because you do get special features in movies, but you don't get them in TV shows, which is weird because whole TV show box sets have them too. I don't know. Okay, so David is sitting alone at Granny's when Regina comes in. She sits down next to him and tells her that, she sits down next to him and he tells her that he is this is not written right. He tells her that he is wanted to testify. This is written incorrectly. That he wants to testify against Mary Margaret for the murder of Catherine. So he tells Regina he wants to testify. David blames himself for what happened to Catherine, but Regina reminds him that the car crash didn't kill her. A person did, clearly implying Mary Margaret. He wonders why Regina doesn't hate him, to which she claims that she is his friend. She places her hand on top of his and says that she is here for him at any time. He leaves, and Regina thanks Sydney for letting her know that David was there. So it's just another like little pawn, chess move of just her trying to make David trust her for no good reason or some reason we don't know about yet. And the second scene is Mary Margaret is fixing up her bed in her cell. She hears Emma enter. Emma tells her that Regina was one step ahead and the shovel is missing. Mary Margaret gets angry at Emma for this, knowing that she could have run. Oh, so like Emma convinced her to stay, and so now she's mad at Emma because she could have gotten away, but she stayed because she trusted that Emma would be able to like tie up this loose end, and of course Regina was one step ahead. Mary Margaret screams at Emma, telling her to leave, probably in frustration. Emma departs, but then Mary Margaret hears footsteps, thinks it's Emma coming back, but it's Regina, much to her surprise. And then the scene that's actually in the show is where it picks up. So that's just a little precursor that. So the altercation between Emma was just probably cut for time.
Yeah.
But still kind of interesting. Some other things. I kind of like doing the title card here instead of just like blurting it out when the super loud music is going on. So the title card is going to feature a young woman riding a horse. The single most important part of this entire episode happens very early in the episode. And we don't know whether it's Snow White or Regina. It's one of the two of them, which is kind of a beautiful symbolism because there is cases of both of them. The important one is Snow White, but it could be either. Let's see. They found it important to tell me that the title of this episode was leaked for casting calls in January. I don't care. I don't know why you even put that in there. Like, why? It's so bizarre. The episode flashbacks were originally planned to be in the second episode of the first season. In fact, I'm going to skip ahead to the time check in my notes here because the reason why it was originally planned in the second episode, the first scene is actually takes place between Skin Deep and What Happened to Frederick. So that's like 9 or 10, right? So they actually had these events. They combine them together from separate things to kind of tell the story. So that very, very first one is going to be separate. And then the rest of the Enchanted Forest stuff is going to be in line with everything else.
Huh.
Again, this is stuff we're going to go over towards the end of the season when we talk about the full timeline, since it jumps around a lot. We'll clarify that then. But so that was a band-aid because they originally wanted these flashbacks to be in the second episode, and then they just kind of bumped it down the line, which is actually cool that we waited this long, almost the end of the first season, to find out Regina's intention. How different would that have been if we had given away Regina's thing in the second episode? I think it's a lot more powerful that it was a mystery.
This is a better payoff.
Yeah. During the filming of the opening scene with Regina and Mr. Gold, Robert Carlyle, it's going to be an apple reference, right? So Robert Carlyle was hesitant about throwing this apple at Lana Priya to kind of throw her an apple because he was afraid that someone would get hurt. He is the nicest guy in the whole world.
Why is this man so wholesome and pure outside of his role?
He's so sweet. Lana Priya is a Puerto Rican New Yorker, and her father was a professional baseball player in the MLB. So she was like, don't worry. I assure you I can catch this apple. As the story goes from on set, Lana Priya pointed out that her father was a baseball player and assured him that she could catch it. But I just think it's really cute that Robert Carlyle. Right?
My dad was a professional baseball player.
I got this. To prepare her for her role as young Snow White, Bailee Madison watched videos of Jennifer Goodwin and studied her performance in order to make her own performance consistent with Snow White's older persona. How friggin' cute is that? She's like, yo, Guinea Good, I got this. I'm going to study you. I'm going to figure it out. Like, very mature. Like, I can see why she continued to be a working
she
actress.
continued to be successful, because she worked for it.
Look at this. She was like a preteen, doing all that work.
Yeah, she was 12 or 13.
She also went as far as to wear green contact lenses for the role as young Snow White, since her eyes are naturally brown and she wanted to match Guinea's eye color. How crazy is that?
I'm 26 years old and I have no idea how to put a contact in. So that's impressive to me.
It's not great. It's not a great experience. It feels like death. It's like the worst thing ever.
No.
I used to do it. I can't do it anymore. During the filming of this episode, Bailee Madison had a loose tooth, her front teeth, which had to be glued back into her mouth because they fell out during production. What? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And this didn't happen to Henry?
Henry would have been
How
a
did this
little
not
bit
happen
older.
to him? He grew up on the show.
He did. That's true. I think unless her teeth are just late, but yeah, apparently, as the story goes. Let's see. I'm gonna read. Okay, a hidden detail. Henry has an amethyst on his bookshelf. Amethysts are believed to help.
Birthstone.
Oh, really? It's believed to help people who suffer from faulty memory. So a little like hidden Easter egg in there. Go figure. I have some set note production notes. This is some weird stuff, and I'll paraphrase some of them. But we have another Storybrooke Daily Mirror pause and read. Someone transcribed the article from the newspaper, but I thought it was actually kind of interesting because the set people and the prop people fully populate these things, I guess for the pausers, but they fully populate them and they auction these set pieces off. This particular newspaper article was auctioned off in March of 2019, that late, right? And they fully populate it with canon story background stories, right? That would fit in case a character can reference it or whatever, that they can bring it back and actually use it. So the first one, the headliner, right? It says heartless, big giant letters. School teacher jailed on murder charges. I pointed this out to you, remember, like that she was reading the one on herself. And it's fully with, please, like apparently when someone got the auctioned piece, they filled in the gaps that you couldn't see on camera. And there's little notes here of like, please see Mary Margaret behind bars, picture A5. Like it's literally like a full out thing that you could read up close.
Wow.
And the article says this: a Storybrooke elementary school teacher, Mary Margaret Blanchard, was arrested yesterday and charged with the murder of Storybrooke resident Catherine Nolan, spelled Katherne. Incorrect, by the way. Catherine was spelled Thyn. So it's spelled incorrectly in the newspaper, which is funny. According to local law enforcement. Okay, so although the sheriff's office will not release the details of the incident, Sheriff Emma Swan says that they have evidence linking Blanchard to a violent struggle with Nolan on the night of Nolan's disappearance. Blanchard is being held at Storybrooke Sheriff's Office and will await trial in the upcoming weeks. Blanchard was charged with felony counts of murder, attempted murder, and assault on and a misdemeanor count of criminal possession of a weapon, Swan said. So that's kind of the collection of all the things you've seen so far. She was arraigned in Storybrooke City Court and processed for holding in lieu of $500,000 in bail. So that's also really funny that like Regina would make, somehow get
a high bail for somebody that can't leave the town.
$500,000 bail.
It's not like she's a flight risk.
Right. Although Blanchard's motives remain unclear, one Storybrooke resident who wishes to remain anonymous claims that he recently saw Sydney, of course.
I was going to say
that he recently saw Blanchard and Nolan's husband David kissing outside of a local diner. David Nolan has been cooperative with local law enforcement, and while he has been questioned, Swan insists that he's not a suspect. And then the article next to it, I shit you not, Storybrooke Elementary Girl is crowned new champion at a regional spelling bee. And it's this entire article interviewing this girl. Her name is Tenaya, first of all. Tenaya Wilkins. So she's clearly African-American, which I love that they put like a very clear name in there. The word that ultimately got her through the sectionals, however, was a veritable delay chain of letters, anti-disestablishmentarianism, which is a classic spelling bee joke all the time. She aced it without breaking a sweat, and she gave an accolade to her grandfather Stanley, who set her on this course towards her passion for words. It's like a really beautifully written article, which I thought was hilarious. Her teacher said she's a valuable asset to Storybrooke Elementary and her classmates. She's a kind and helpful child and has many friends. Where is my Tenaya side story? I want to meet this girl.
You just got the whole thing.
That's it. And then we never see her again. There are other articles in here. There's a bunch of Neil Westlake is one of the graphic designers on the show, responsible for a lot of the cool effects that we see. His name appears on a bunch of props, including this newspaper. He's one of the complainants on a police report. He's one of the land surveyors in Fruit of the Poisonous Tree. He's like one of the reviewers for like a book blurb in some future thing. Like it's a bunch of stuff they keep like shoving their names into. And then there's a bunch of other random things that are kind of in a really cool way, like fill out the story of Storybrooke. Like we always talk about like the non-hero characters and what's going on with the other town members. And some of these things actually do talk about it. I mean, stupid stuff. Storybrooke students to milk cows before sunrise, like a group, like a field trip or something that they reported about. But there's one that stood out to me, that a little bit of politics that we don't see, right? Town hall behind proposed legislation to place new user fee on landfill waste. So this is Regina trying to put more control on the town and make them all scared of her. These are things that we don't see in the background about why everybody's scared of like the evil overlord of the town as this mayor.
Because it's still happening.
Right. Just in a common contemporary modern day way through politics instead of through rain. As state regulators decide if an old town landfill can more than triple its waste capacity, Mayor Regina Mills is recommending passage of a bill that would levy a per ton fee on waste the landfill was established to hold in a January 10th letter, blah, 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 blah. They say the mayor recommends a new $4 per ton fee of construction and demolition debris put into the Storybrooke landfills, along with a $3 per ton fee for any new processing residues. Some landfills less than 6 acres in size would be exempt, whatever. The fees have two aims: to regulate a long, unregulated waste type, often originating out of state, to help the Maine fund, like the state of Maine's efforts.
Of Maine.
Yeah. Approximately $5 million in landfill related obligations. And somebody said, the mayor gets it. She made a policy statement saying that our landfill resources are for the users of all of Maine. So Regina's it's interesting that they say that that she's trying to reach politics outside of Storybrooke, even to the entire state. It's very interesting that she would appear even more powerful than just a local mayor. Like she would be meddling and stuff like that. If she knows she's the evil queen, because she's bored and she wants to, like, the local town people see that, and she can always lean back on the like, oh, I'm for the people, which a lot of like local politicians try to do these things that make them look like humanitarians. And somehow.
It's like you can only for that long. They've been doing this for 10 years now. It's like longer than that, honestly, because Emma's 28 years old.
It would have been almost 30 years.
So like she's got to be bored at some point.
I guess, yeah, and what better way to pass her time than to like push her power around, So yeah, there's some really interesting.
Unless you think about it, and maybe over the last almost 30 years, this isn't the only storyline. Like maybe she scrambles it up maybe that's why they're always in a haze. Like
that's
maybe,
true. That is kind of interesting.
That's
like
true, every 10 years, she's like, you know what, reset, and she's like, let's
just do something else.
Let's play again.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good point. For our, I read this and I can actually keep this relatively spoiler free. So for our people who know where these things are going, the clasps on Cora's coat have hearts on them. And we'll leave that at that. Which is a really, really nice touch in this first episode. But we won't find out why for another 3 seasons. So we'll get there. Whatever. What's in the hatch? There are none. There actually are none for this or the next episode.
Which is crazy because who wrote this episode?
I know. Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz are the lost guys.
Not a single hatch?
Not a single one. They were really focused, I guess, on this one. So Edward and Adam were writers on Lost, so they put a bunch of Easter eggs in a ton of these episodes, but there are a few that don't have any, and this happens to be one of them. So sadly, no hatch references in this, but maybe if we find some of our own, we can call them out. Now that we are about to watch the episode with you we got a nice juicy long pre-show this time. Hour 10. All right, cool. We have some things that we'd like you to recognize when while the show is going on. And that is, if you hear this sound, we have a little drinking game that we like to play. You can drink a beverage of your choice, tea, water, an alcoholic beverage if you so choose. We have some loose rules that we kind of call out, talking about magic, apples, the yellow bug, Emma's jacket. There's a lot of like really random things in there, but we try to remember. I'm going to pull it up so I don't forget while we watch the show. Anytime Rumple giggles, anytime he makes a deal, stuff like that. So anytime you hear that sound, you can take a drink. If you hear this sound, that is just like a cheers, like a little toast, which is a nod to our production notes section. If we see anything like we're like, oh yeah, that's the amethyst on the bookshelf or whatever, we actually see it, then we'll all just clink our drinks a little bit. We also have this sound, which is the sound of the episode starting and stopping. While I am doing that, it's just a little bit easier for you guys to sync it for those of you who are watching alongside with us. So if you hear that sound, it is because I am pausing, and if we have to go back and rewind, then you'll hear this.
It's rewind time.
Oh my God, thanks, Will Smith. I really appreciate you being on our show. He would like to remind you that it's rewind time, and then we will find a new place to sync up our watch party together. And with that, we say goodbye to our YouTube friends. That's your pre-show, y'all. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you join us on the rest of the audio cast on your favorite podcast app, which you can find right here. Peace.